Boar's Head is bringing a slice of Japan to the deli. Introducing Boar's Head Ichiban Teriyaki-style chicken. Tender, slow-roasted chicken breast, coated in our signature teriyaki glaze, where ginger, garlic, and a hint of brown sugar meet for a flavor that's both sweet and savory. New Boar's Head Ichiban Teriyaki-style chicken. The bold flavor of Japan. Now at the deli. Only from Boar's Head. Compromise elsewhere.
Blog Talk Radio.
Well, good evening, folks, and thank you for tuning in with me once again to another edition of True Conservative Radio. And, of course, I am your host, the man they call Ghost. And once again, folks, I want to thank you very much for tuning in with me. It has been a little time since I conducted a live broadcast here on the Blog Talk Radio Network, and I want to thank everybody who's tuning in with me live on the broadcast this evening. Once again, if you want to be the first to know when I'm going to broadcast sporadically, because I do broadcast these shows sporadic, please follow me on Twitter. Once again, the Twitter name to follow is Ghost Politics. All one word, no underscores, Ghost Politics. Pretty much the easiest way to figure out when I'm going to have one of these broadcasts. And if you happen to be tuning in with me in the archive, once again, thank you very much for tuning in with me. Anyway, folks, before I get into the program, I wanted to say that there's a lot of things happening within the international community that's very warlike, kind of real nefarious aura going on within the international community, and I know that our president, Barack Hussein Obama, was awarded the Nobel Peace Prize because he thought about doing something nice, but right about now is about, time for Barack Hussein, or our president, Barack Hussein Obama, to do something a little nice. Now, we're going to go ahead and talk about what Obama has finally done here within the past week or couple of weeks or so. We're also going to talk, because believe me, a good chunk of the program is going to be dedicated to our president, because this man has done a lot of actions within the past several weeks that are going to affect us all, and he wants to implement other types of reform that I think everybody needs to start getting themselves prepared for, and we're going to talk about that this evening. We're going to go into a brief little tirade about this ridiculous balloon boy, this ridiculous half-witted parent that staged this ridiculous stunt. If you haven't read about it, I'm sure if you go to your nearest search engine and type in balloon boy, you'll read all about it. But I just wanted to maybe not even go more than 5 minutes into that little tirade there, because I think it's a staple of what parenting in America is actually about. And we're going to get to that. We're also going to get, folks, to the unravelings, the precarious situations that are happening in Pakistan, Afghanistan. For all you folks that haven't been in the loop of those international situations, I'm going to keep you somewhat up to date as the news unravels. You know that you have to search long and hard throughout the Internet to figure out what exactly is really going on in the regions of Pakistan and Afghanistan. We're going to get in that later on this evening. And at the same time, folks, we're going to talk about Iran, because there's a lot of domestic unrest happening within the country of Iran, and Iran already, President Ahmadinejad, this fictitious secularist garbage that the Ayatollahs have propped up so that they can sell this ridiculous Islamic revolution to their people, which is, fading by the minute. I'm going to get into what's going on out there in Iran and why it should concern you as an American citizen. And at the same time, folks, I have a couple of contacts out there in Iran. Believe it or not, this show, I intend to broadcast this show to American citizens in hopes of sparking some synapses in their brains. But unfortunately, sometimes that doesn't happen. I get more liberals and bull-dyke feminists and a bunch of liberal long-hair agitators that insist on calling me up and doing prank calls and all kinds of other malarkey. But at the same time, I actually have, individuals within the international community that actually tune in and they actually listen into the broadcast faithfully and get a lot from it. They get a lot of idealism from it. They get a lot of fervor from it. And one of the countries in particular that I have, I didn't realize I had a following in, I don't really know to the extent of the following, but out in Iran. That's right, folks. The True Conservative radio program is getting out into Iran, and lo and behold, I've had a variety of different individuals email me from Iran, excuse me, and we've been corresponding ever since that ridiculous makeshift election that the Iranian government attempted to pull off, basically given the reign of presidential power to Ahmadinejad, even though it was highly contested throughout the damn country, and people were protesting, and you had martial law being implemented out there by the Islamic Revolution and the Ayatollahs, and it was just a complete mess. But the individuals who I've been corresponding with through email are actually individuals in Iran that are actually a part of this Iranian resistance. Now, folks, I don't want to get into it right now. We're going to get into it later in the show, and we're going to discuss a whole bunch of other topics. But right now, folks, we're going to get into the crux of the program, and I see everybody in the chat room ready to listen in on what I have to say about Obama, Obama, Obama. Now, the reason I'm putting our president, at the front of the program and going to give him most of the time in the program is because he's done a variety of different things, and I don't even know where the hell to start, to be honest with you. But for you folks that haven't been in the loop of the latest drama that Obama has put himself in, and at the same time embarrassed the American public, was this Latin festival that he put out in the front lawn of the White House that was broadcasted on PBS. And this Latino festival had all these different Latin acts and a bunch of Mexican stars, movie stars, individuals from the international community, so on and so forth. And lo and behold, some hot tamale whorebag by the name of Talia, I don't even know what in the blue hell this woman's name was. But anyway, this woman was on stage doing a performance. It was one of her variety of different performances that were taking place in this, I don't know if you want to call it a festival, a dinner, I don't know. It was just basically to inflate the supposed dominance that the Democrats want to have over this demographic of voters. So to do that, Obama decided to throw this crap in front of the White House in hopes of hypnotizing the Latin Americans in this country into believing that, they're the great saviors, and, they're going to, I don't know what, I don't even want to make a comment that I might regret. But unfortunately, out of all this theatrics that was going on, we had this hot tamale whorebag named Talia, or Thalia, I don't even know what the hell, how to pronounce it. She got on stage and started, shaking her little, moneymaker out there, and, was singing her Latin music, shaking her rumps around, the whole 9 yards. And she actually had the audacity, this Talia, during this Latin, whatever the hell it was, she actually had the audacity to get her ass off the stage and actually approach our President of the United States and say, "Oh, Mr. President, I want you to dance with me." I mean, are you kidding me? I mean, first of all, Secret Service, should have backhanded this broad about 20 feet before she even said those words, all right? Okay, let alone that. Then you have our President of the United States, the leader of the free world, a man who's supposed to be representing the country who is the bastion of not only capitalism but civilized society. And for some reason is getting Nobel Peace Awards, and, the international community thinks that this man is Adonis or something. He actually gets up off his seat. Michelle Obama's just sitting there, with that disgusting mug she's got on her face, that scowl that's just imprinted on there, and she's got those teeth. And no offense, Mrs. Michelle Obama, I really don't know you personally, and I'm glad I don't. I'm glad you were starting to get mouthy during the presidential campaigns, and now that you're actually in office, I'm glad that we don't even hear from you. Just knowing your role and shutting your hole, with all due respect, ma'am. But Obama disrespects his wife and his little girls, all right? Gets up off his chair and starts doing the conga, or whatever the hell you call this dance, the salsa merengue, the conga, the whatever the hell he was doing. He was actually doing it with this broad. I mean, he was actually within bumping and grinding distance. I mean, this president of ours was literally doing the lambada with this hot tamale whorebag, Talia, whatever the heck it's called. I mean, I think that was a complete disrespect to America. It makes us look like we're a bunch of hedonistic assholes that do nothing but go to clubs every day and guzzle down bottles of Hypnotic or cognac or Hennessy or whatever the crap. It's just disgusting. You know, I mean, American presidents were supposed to have couth. They were supposed to have some sort of integrity out here. They were supposed to, you know, they were supposed to stand with some sort of stature that actually proved that they were not only the leader of the free world, but the leader of civility to some extent. Now, you know, maybe I'm making more out of it than it should be, but with all due respect, I mean, I know that President George W. Bush took a lot of flack when he invited, you know, some African tribe into the White House, and, you know, he was doing a little dance or whatever the hell he was doing. But you have to understand, he was doing that in the name of diplomacy, you know? He was doing that in the name of diplomacy. I mean, he was just trying to show the African people that he wasn't some racist jackass, and he can get down, you know, with the Congo drums or whatever the crap he was doing. But this was because, you know, with all due respect, and I'm just speculating, this is not, I can't read our president's mind, but he got his derriere off that chair so fast and started doing the Congo with Talia, and then, you know, he was just, you could just tell on his face. I mean, you know, he kind of broke down from a minute. You know, Barack Obama, one thing that I can credit him for, he's always in character. He always has the right things to say. He always has that look. But he definitely broke character when he was dancing with this, I don't know who this woman is, Thalia, whatever her name is. And then when Barack Obama was finished and said, well, you know, maybe this is enough, starts walking back, he walks back to his chair, sits down next to Michelle Obama, and Michelle Obama doesn't want to have none of it. Michelle Obama says, I mean, she didn't even say anything. She didn't even want to look at the man. And I don't blame her. I don't like Michelle Obama, all right? But I don't blame her. I thought that was complete disrespect, all right? Complete disrespect. And I cannot believe that, with all due respect to our president, you know, I'm hoping for the best from you, but you're not showing us very much. This is not something that is, you know, it shows good etiquette. It doesn't show presidential prowess. It doesn't show anything. And I thought that was disgusting. I don't mean to spend so much time on it, folks, but I mean, it's disgusting. It's what it is. I mean, it makes us look like a, you know, a bunch of hedonistic gluttons that care about nothing else but, you know, doing the lambada, you know, and chugging down some cheap bottles of hooch. Anyway, another thing I wanted to talk about was the White House's stance on marijuana laws. For all you folks that are unaware of what's going on in California or what's been going down in California, California has actually passed a Proposition 15, 14, to 420, whatever the hell it is, back in 95, 96, and lo and behold, they legalized the medical use of marijuana, meaning that one could literally go to a doctor and can literally get prescribed medical marijuana for backaches or trouble sleeping. They're prescribing it for anything. From this time, 95, 96 to the present, there has been a variety of different what are called marijuana dispensaries, or cooperatives is what they like to call these marijuana dispensaries, basically pot shops. And what you need to do in California is get one of these prescriptions, and then you buy some card that signifies that you are able and are medically justified to smoke marijuana. You go to one of these dispensaries and you're buying pot legally, right, as if you were going into the cigar shop getting yourself an Opus X for about $40 a stick. I'm not joking, folks. This is what's happening, and the federal government has been cracking down. I mean, even though this has been happening for some time in California, the federal government has been cracking down on these dispensaries, and, you know, it's been an issue whether it's the state's rights versus federal enforcement. You see, the state of California had legalized marijuana for medical use in 95, 96, but they unfortunately were having the federal government enforce the marijuana laws and superseding the state's rights for up until this time. And Barack Obama and the top cop, Attorney General Holder, decided that the federal government is no longer going to emphasize medical marijuana investigations or prosecutions. So this means, folks, that all the marijuana dispensaries that are in California, and folks, I don't know if you know, there are more marijuana dispensaries in California than there are Starbucks coffee shops, and that ain't no joke, all right? People are just smoking pot out there, out in the open, and they're getting the highest grade marijuana. They're bombed out of their minds. It's no wonder that these imbeciles and these liberal pieces of garbage in California aren't, pissing and moaning about their current situation economically because they're too busy, smoking the magic dragon, puffing the damn magic dragon. All right, I mean, it's disgusting out here that we're having more marijuana dispensaries than Starbucks coffee shops. But, for all the conservatives out there who think that this is somehow a bad thing, I'm going to have to, and I have many shows ago. As a matter of fact, I actually had a show, I think it was my 5th, 6th, 7th show that I ever had on the Blog Talk Radio Network about the possibility or entertaining the option of legalizing drugs. And the reason that I don't think that this is a bad thing, and as a matter of fact, I think that they need to consider de-emphasizing law enforcement resources to basically look out and capture drug users. I think that we need to somehow get rid of the drug dealer, and the only way you can get rid of the drug dealer is if you legalize drugs in a fashion where the states can dispense of these narcotics to those that are, they're going to do the drug anyway. They're going to do the drug anyway. They're going to kill themselves. They're going to smoke their crack. They're going to do their heroin. They're going to do whatever it is. You put dispensaries throughout metropolises all over America that are government funded. You have the government cultivate this garbage. You have them distribute it. And these individuals that want to smoke their crack, they want to shoot their heroin, they want to whatever it is, drop their acid. I don't know what the hell the chic drugs, the illegal drugs are nowadays. But these individuals have to go in and they have to put their name on the dotted line and their address and their social security numbers and, all of their identification so that they can be put down in a database so that any employer that wants to, research this database of drug users can pay a certain fee or, a certain search fee, maybe $9.95, $20, to see if any potential employer is a drug user. And it is up to the discretion of that business owner whether or not that person is going to be employed based on that this drug database, so to speak. And I think it is a proper and I would say a rational way of dealing with this drug problem. Because I think that resources devoted to drugs, resources that are devoted to traffic laws, I mean, look, I agree. I don't like these aggressive ass clowns that are, going in and out of traffic. I think those ass clowns need to be, written tickets. I understand that. I understand that you can't go 70 and a 30. I understand those ass clowns need to, have some tickets. But the law enforcement of today, it seems to me that they're more worried about writing people tickets. And I have said, folks, and everyone, that has any kind of rational freaking thought should know this, that these tickets are indirect taxation. And they are the biggest indirect taxation on the American working person around. And this is why these officers that, are riding around with cars that say to serve and protect don't actually serve and protect. They're actually out there to tax collect. And this is why I kind of applaud the Obama administration for de-emphasizing the federal resources to look into a bunch of medical marijuana dispensaries and a bunch of potheads and a bunch of idiots that are not doing anything but just being losers. I think what we need to do is cut off their entitlements that they're getting to get the marijuana, but that's a whole other story. I think that we need to de-emphasize these ridiculous, heavily taxated on the American working person garbage that the American law enforcement is conducting every day that we walk outside our door. And I think that law enforcement needs to go out and get the robbers. They need to get the burglars. They need to get the child molesters. They need to get the rapists. They need to get the most vile human beings. They need to actually serve and protect the people. Haven't you noticed, folks, that, most of these cops are there after the fact? There's a burglary in your house, you're calling these morons, and they're there after the fact. And any time they actually have to engage someone who is actually violent, anybody who's actually armed and dangerous, they're no better than you are with a gun, with all due respect to my fellow law enforcement. And I think the reason is because most of these law enforcement officers are too busy, guzzling down, chugs of coffee and, living at Dunkin' Donuts instead of actually going out and keeping themselves fit, keeping themselves ready, keeping themselves on alert to get rid of the scum of this society. And what is the scum of this society? I'm talking about the morons that are out here burglarizing your home. I'm talking about the idiots committing armed robberies at corner stores. All right, I'm talking about, the idiots that are out here killing innocent children, molesting innocent children. I'm talking about the most grotesque crimes that need to be wiped off the face of the freaking planet. And instead, what is law enforcement emphasizing? Oh, it's emphasizing its resources on drugs. It's emphasizing its resources on keeping the streets safe, whatever the freak that means. All right? I mean, this is what I'm talking about, and this is what the American people need to discuss a little bit more often. Now, once again, I am not endorsing Obama or Eric Holder, nor am I endorsing, this idea of the federal government, basically bowing down and allowing states to legalize marijuana in their states if they deem fit. But I do applaud the fact that they understand that resources, especially law enforcement resources, need to be redirected out of the idea of going after a bunch of drug addicts who are, doing whatever, shooting up behind a damn dumpster or some crap. And we need to guide and direct all the emphasis of the law enforcement in America to getting rid of the filth. And I'm talking about the burglars, and these are the individuals that need to be put in jail for long periods of time. And this is what I'm saying. I mean, the only thing that makes this society our society, the only thing that makes America a civil society based on careers open to talent, the only thing that makes this society, the only reason that this society allows you to have a house, allows you to have personal possessions, allows you to have a personal car, is because we have a rule of law. And we protect. These law enforcement officers are supposed to serve and protect your property, your possessions. And they're not doing that. I mean, look on your law enforcement website. They have to show you exactly how many carjackings and burglaries and all those statistics, and you're going to see they're rather high. Even if you do have a whole bunch of law enforcement on the street supposedly cracking down on crime, unfortunately, you're still finding the statistics rather high. And the reason is because they're directing their resources and all the law enforcement energy to ridiculous taxation nonsense. I mean, to stop somebody for a freaking seatbelt, huh? I mean, to write somebody a ticket because they got a broken taillight. You know, to write somebody, you know, large sums of money for the most ridiculous nonsense. Because, folks, tickets and all this traffic crap is indirect taxation on the American people. And I strongly advise you all, folks, in your neck of the woods to call your local city council people, or if you live in a parish or if you live in a township. I know there's a variety of different local organizing governments, but call those individuals, call your state representatives, and to tell them that you don't want the law enforcement emphasizing its resources on this idea of drug enforcement or maybe traffic enforcement. I mean, you'd be surprised the amount of money they're putting in to catch you running a stop sign, running a damn a red light, or, you know, having a damn seatbelt malfunction, whatever. They're investing in cameras. They're investing in state-of-the-art radar. They're investing in all kinds of malarkey so that they can catch you in a situation and basically tax you, folks. I mean, that's why I say all this ridiculous traffic law nonsense is indirect taxation, and it makes me sick, all right? And anyway, I know I got off on a tirade there, but I wanted to say that Barack Obama, I kind of agree with you there, and I applaud you that you want to, you know, reduce resources devoted to investigating marijuana in states that have already legalized it, and to go out and emphasize federal resources on something else. Another thing that Obama has done, and one thing that I disagree with him about, is he's been applauding the unraveling of what's happening in Afghanistan. Now, I guess we can, you know, go from here and segue right into Afghanistan, but this Afghanistan situation is very precarious, folks, and if you've been listening to me on a consistent basis, you know that this has always concerned me. I've been talking about the Afghanistan situation when it wasn't a popular subject of debate. And lo and behold, folks, you know, I called this, you know. I mean, I don't know what episode I called this on, but it was an episode dedicated to Afghanistan. And, folks, I knew that this Ahmed Karzai and this Abdullah situation was not only going to unravel the governing body that we propped up during this Afghanistan invasion, but basically nullifies the whole concept of what we thought. I'm talking about the American people, what we thought the objective was, and that was to implement a democracy in Afghanistan. And for you folks that haven't kept up to date with what the hell I'm talking about, Ahmed Karzai, which has been the leader ever since the United States propped up this government in Afghanistan, had to run against a former spokesman of the Northern Alliance during the invasion of Afghanistan in 2001. His name was Abdullah. He was the spokesman, usually on the boob tube, basically giving the word of the Northern Alliance at the time. He was the spokesman for the Northern Alliance. And now this individual is challenging Hamid Karzai for leadership of Afghanistan, and they're claiming all kinds of reforms and all kinds of nonsense. Well, lo and behold, folks, there's so much fraud, allegedly, according to some UN, you know, oversight voting committee, or whatever the hell you want to call this international crap, this institution. According to all evidence, it's just complete and utter voter fraud. Complete and utter voter fraud, folks, basically nullifying the idea that the United States was trying to implement in there initially, and that's democracy in Afghanistan. I mean, we've completely nullified it. And now, Ahmed Karzai, he was really obstinate against a recount or any kind of a runoff election, Today he announced that he was going to, go ahead and do another election. There was going to be another runoff election for the people of Afghanistan. Well, folks, the reason that he's doing another vote is because he was caught red-handed trying to steal a damn election. And you know what, folks? It makes me disgustingly ill to my stomach that we've got American troops dying every single day, and we got a lot of them coming out of Texas, folks. I'm out here watching the news, watching all these poor young men, and some of them are not even young. Some of them are 40-plus years old out here trying to fight for our freedom. They're coming back in body bags for this Afghanistan cause. And initially, and this is what I've always thought, that the mission accomplished agenda, or the initial mission, was to implement democracy in Afghanistan and an attempt to modernization. Well, folks, all this money has not only, we've already talked about all the money that's been blown in Iraq, and, Obama's already insistent about just pulling out of there and just cutting our losses, which is just ridiculous. We got that Iraq governing body making all kinds of money selling the oil that we liberated for them on the world market. They're making trillions of dollars, and they're not even paying America back 1 red cent, and it's disgusting. And you've got Obama saying, oh, well, we're going to pull out SIA. We got to do it for the name of humanity. Sorry, see you later. And now he wants to reemphasize his military emphasis on Afghanistan, when the whole idea of implementing democracy in Afghanistan has been nullified by this damn election that has been found fraudulent by the United Nations. And what does this have to do with Obama? Well, Obama's applauding, the budding democracy. He made a statement today that he applauds what's going on, and it's for the sake of Afghanistan people. Look, with all due respect, Mr. President, you are completely making the wrong mistake when it comes to this international relations debacle. I understand that we had to emphasize a little bit more of our our military resources into Afghanistan, but you should have not have neglected Iraq. You should have made some demands to the Iraqi governing body, or the parliament, or whatever the hell it's called, and told them that they needed to start paying America back for all the blood and treasure that we have endured liberating these people. They're making the money, folks. Don't think that I'm being greedy here, all right? They've got the damn money. They're selling their oil on the world market, for heaven's sake. And what is Obama doing? He's cutting and running. And all that debt we incurred during Iraq, it's just, I don't know, I guess we're just going to have to eat it. Hell, Barack Obama has incurred so much debt up to this point, and he hasn't been in office very long. He's incurred so much debt, he's incurred more debt than George Washington and every president after George Washington up to George W. Bush. All those presidents combined have not spent the amount that Barack Obama and the current liberal regime is spending today. And it makes me sick to my stomach that this great country that was made by the people and for the people is being had, is being bamboozled, is being ridiculously stupefied. Now, we're going to get back to Afghanistan in a minute. I wanted to also talk about something else that Barack Obama is taking part in this evening. As a matter of fact, I think he already took part in it. And I'm talking about these Democratic fundraisers out there in the East Coast, all right? He's got these Democratic fundraisers out there where he's raising millions of dollars for the Democratic Party for the upcoming 2010 elections. Now, why do I bring this up, folks? Because, first of all, he's speaking where the attendees of this particular, I don't know how much they're charging a dinner, or, usually, and I'm not saying that this is the case, but usually these fundraisers, they raise money by charging, $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 a dinner. This is how, political parties and also American politicians raise their capital for their campaigns. Anyway, folks, he's out here out on the East Coast attempting to solicit the same individuals who capitalized off of the Wall Street bailout. Now, what am I saying, folks? Well, I'm just suggesting that, well, we know for a fact that Wall Street executives are going to be at these events, folks. All right? The same Wall Street executives that are being criticized for taking all these big bonuses on the American taxpayer's dime, okay? These same executives are going to these Democratic fundraisers for what, folks? Why are the executives that obtained all these trillions and billions of dollars during the bailout, why are they going to the Democratic fundraisers? Well, I'll tell you why, folks. All right? The Wall Street and the bankers and the individuals that are attending these fundraisers for the Democrats tonight, which Obama's speaking at, they're doing it so they can get more of your money, you stupid morons. All right? They're doing it so they can get more of your money, so they can keep the open rate on the American tax-paying system. Meanwhile, the middle class and the upper middle class are taking it up the tailpipe with no Vaseline, and all the middle class and upper middle class can do is look back and hope for a damn reach around, and they're not going to get it. They're not going to get it, folks. And the reason they're not going to get it is because no one is demanding for it. Nobody is standing up and saying, hey, wait a minute, this is not the way it's supposed to be. But you see, you've got so many people who sold their souls to this Barack Obama liberal regime idea. And you remember the campaigns, folks. If you don't remember the campaigns, well, good God. I mean, it was just complete and utter cult of personality, for heaven's sake. I mean, you know, Obama just came in and all he had to do was read a teleprompter, you know, in some eloquent fashion, and you had the whole room that he was speaking at creaming in their freaking pants. Yeah, creaming in their damn pants, for heaven's sake. And you had all these morons just, you know, completely bowing down to this crap, and, you know, I mean, they were just bombarding the YouTube airwaves and the blogosphere and the boob tube. They were just bombarding it with all this emotional fervor that, oh, change, oh, we're going to make great change out here. That's what we're going to do. We're going to make some great changes. And what change have we made? We're making the transition into quasi-socialism communism. I mean, this is what I've been saying for the past 3 years. Damn it! And I find it funny that that these Wall Street executives that are going to get the big bonuses and have already gotten the big bonuses are going to this Barack Obama Democratic Party dinner in the East Coast. As a matter of fact, there's several of them that Barack Obama was supposed to speak at this evening. The same Wall Street executives that got the big bonuses on the American tax-paying dollar are going to these fundraising dinners. Now, doesn't that imply that the American taxpayer is basically not only funding the big lavish lifestyle to the Wall Street executives and the bankers, but it also implies that the Wall Street banker is paying a campaign contribution with our tax-paying dollars? I mean, am I getting that correctly, folks? I want to hear from you. I mean, maybe I'm making more of it than it actually is, but 646-652-4869. I mean, is this what I'm hearing, or am I reading this correctly? That the same Wall Street executives and the bankers that, you know, capitalized off the open rate on the American tax-paying system, you know, you heard the numbers that have come out. What is it? I mean, 20, 14 billion. I mean, just read the numbers for yourself. Just put in Wall Street bonuses, and you're going to be shocked. And those same people that are getting all those bonuses and that are reaping the rewards, they're going into the Democratic fundraisers, and they're using taxpayer money in a sense so that they can fund the Democrats. I mean, you know, isn't this kind of one of the most disgusting money laundering ideas that comes to mind, for heaven's sake? I mean, my head hurts just contemplating this idea, just thinking about it. I mean, what does it do to you, for heaven's sake? I mean, I'm just sitting here just trying to make these suggestions, trying to connect the dots, for heaven's sake. I mean, am I reading this correctly, folks? I want to hear from you. 646-652-4869. You know, Is this what America has become out here? We've just allowed these damn power-hungry autocrats in Washington to allow Wall Street and bankers to open raid our tax-paying system so that those same Wall Street executives and bankers can go to Democratic events and give them our money to deposit in their bank accounts, their campaign contribution accounts. Oh. It's really disgusting, folks. I mean, I know that there's a lot of people playing with their pecker shaft saying, oh, it's okay, Ghost. Everything's going to be all right. Everything's not going to be all right, damn it. Don't you understand that the middle class and the upper middle class is what creates opportunity in any capitalist society? You even look at the beginning of capitalism. I mean, what made capitalism push forth as an idea of a mode of production? It was the idea of opportunity. It was the middle class. It was the middle class merchants. It was the middle class small farmer that created the idea of capitalism. But henceforth, in my opinion, I think that we're, as American people, are going towards a more peasantry society. And you know, one interesting concept about the American Revolution, the American Revolution is not only peculiar in a variety of different ways, but it is distinct because it is the only revolution that didn't have a peasantry. That's right, folks. The American Revolution didn't inspire because a bunch of peasants rose up and said, I want more money. That's not what happened. All right, the American Revolution was spawned by small farmers and middle-class merchants and those individuals who wanted to keep the avenues of opportunity open so they could be prosperous, so they can, facilitate industrious growth, which ended up happening. All right, I mean, that's what ended up happening, for heaven's sake. But now, folks, we are turning into the peasantry, all right? America is turning into the peasantry. What is peasantry? For all you folks that are out there, you hear this term all the time, oh, peasants, hey, he's a peasant. Peasants, in my opinion, is a lower form than slavery. Now, let me explain why I say that. Back in the old feudalistic country, back when there was aristocrats and monarchs and all this crap, the only people that owned land in the whole entire country of a feudalistic system was those in the aristocracy, those in the nobility, okay? And they owned vast parts of land. They owned big pieces of land. And they called these big pieces of land estates. And during feudalistic time, they never overproduced. On the contrary, the monarchs and the aristocrats emphasized their economic energies on stabilizing prices at a certain rate so that they could never go up or down. So what does that mean? That means that they had a complete and utter monopoly on every single damn thing that was produced, and they only produced so much so that the damn prices could never fluctuate. All right? Now, what the peasantry did, they would live off the land of these estates. They would live off the land of these estates in exchange for protection from the estate owner, in exchange for, barely any kind of sustenance, maybe bowls of gruel, maybe some pissing ground for some little hut out there within the estate. And you know what, folks? Peasants, whenever the estate owner decided to sell the land, whenever the estate owner said, I'm going to sell this land to another noble, the peasants actually went with the land. That's right, folks. The peasants actually went with the land. They were a part of the estate. Now, you see, if you want to compare that to slavery, in the Old South, when a plantation owner sold his land, he didn't sell his slaves, folks. Slaves were very valuable. They were very economical. All right? I mean, they were fed very well. I'm not trying to justify slavery, folks. I'm just trying to tell you that peasantry is a lower form in the social strata than slaves. And in America today, we are turning into a bunch of peasants. And who's the estate owner, folks? Who's the estate owner of this new peasantry in America? Well, none other than our super sensationalistic, super poweristic, expialidocious government. Our government is the biggest state owner of this country. And most of the people in America who put themselves in debts they can't pay, who, had themselves children they couldn't afford, are out there with their hands out like a peasant in feudalistic monarchic society saying, please, big brother, can you give me a stimulus check? Oh, please, big brother, can you give me cash for crap, cash for clunkers? Please, big brother. This is not how America was supposed to be. And this is why I'm going to continue to have these damn programs in hopes of sparking some synapses and some true patriots out there, in hopes of having some people actually participating in this political process. Because, folks, this government was made by the people and for the people, and the only reason this government is kind of imploding upon us is because the people have been bombarded with ignorance. They've been bombarded with TV fetish and star fetish, and, wanting to be the next American Idol, and wanting to be the next American this, and all this garbage, instead of actually focusing on their true duty. Every American citizen's true duty, and that is to participate in this government, to be well-informed, to be somebody who understands that they need to be as well-informed as your average college graduate about the political system, so one can make a rational judgment on what way their political philosophy is going to lean to. And what's unfortunate is that most of our children, most of America, they've been educated by this damn boob tube, and they've been thrown nothing but a bunch of fruity asses, like the latest idiot who was dancing around on American Idol like he had a gerbil in his shit funnel. All right, they're more worried about those morons than they are worried about their own freedom, about their own liberty, about preserving those things. And this is why I'm saying, folks, we need individuals like you that are listening to this broadcast, whether it's live or in the archive. We need individuals like you to participate in this government so that we can finally make true change. And I'm not talking about this fictitious little idea that they tried to glamorize during the presidential campaigns. Not these ideas that the liberals attempted to try to facilitate as some sort of chanting mantra at all these fundraisers and all these speaking engagements. I'm talking about true reform, folks. I'm talking about less government. I'm talking about less government in our faces. I'm talking about having private enterprise and middle class and upper middle class prosper once again. Because once the middle class and the upper middle class prosper, folks, everyone prospers. Everyone has jobs. Everyone has opportunity. And that's what people need out here. They need opportunity, not handouts, for heaven's sake. All right? You get what you put in. Careers open to talent. You individuals need to start putting this in your head. You need to start realizing that we need an opportunity-based economy. And if we don't, we are no better than Mao Zedongism. We're no better than Stalinism. We're no better than any of these damn communist pieces of garbage that our boys and our forefathers fought against. You understand this? All right? I mean, this is all I'm asking you to do, folks. Please participate in this government. I mean, I know I got off on a tirade there, but what led into it was Obama this evening, President Obama, attending these Democratic fundraisers on the East Coast in hopes of raising, they were expecting to raise $3 million this evening at 3 different events, if I'm not mistaken. And Barack Obama was supposed to speak at all 3 of them in the East Coast. And the attendees, of course, were going to be the Wall Street and bankers that capitalized off of the bailouts and the stimulus packages. They're the ones getting the big bonuses out here, and they're actually attending these Democratic fundraisers. And I'm just suggesting, does this mean that these damn Wall Street idiots, these bankers that obtain these bailouts so that they can attend these particular Democratic fundraisers, do you mean to tell me that the taxpayer is paying for a Democratic fundraiser? I mean, am I implying that correctly? I mean, is that factual, or am I just making a mountain out of a molehill here? Huh? I mean, am I just, being hyper-sensationalistic? I mean, it seems that way to me. 646-652-4869, all right? Anyway, another thing I wanted to talk about this evening, folks, was the Pakistan situation. I know that I've been keeping people abreast about the Pakistani unraveling. folks, we're having some bad news out there in Pakistan, and if Pakistan goes down, who the hell knows what's going to happen? I'm not even going to make any claims, but you know, dialectically dissect what are the probable causes and effects of a uprising and a full takeover of the country of Pakistan, and who are those people that are going to take it over? Well, nothing more than the Taliban. The Taliban have gained not only foothold within the regions of Pakistan, but also in Afghanistan. The only thing propping up this makeshift quasi, I don't even know what to call it, government that the American soldiers are fighting for out there, they don't even control most of the Afghanistan real estate. The only real estate that the American people or the American soldier has down pat, and it's not even that secure, to be completely honest with you, are the capitals and the major metropolises, if you even want to call anything in Afghanistan a metropolis. But the bigger cities are the only things that are secure. Everything else, all the other real estate in Afghanistan is in complete Taliban control. And, you know, how in the blue hell are we going to have a mission accomplished in Afghanistan when Pakistan owns the majority of the real estate as far as territory is concerned? But that's a whole other issue. But the thing about Pakistan, folks, is that not only are they influencing the whole domestic situation in Pakistan with despicable bombings and despicable suicide attacks, but they also are influencing the psyche of the average Pakistani. The average Pakistani, in my opinion, folks, is gaining a bit of not only nationalist fervor, but also a little bit of Islamic revolutionism, kind of what influenced the situation in Iran. And we're going to get to Iran in a minute. But I feel that that's what's happening here in Pakistan, and the only thing propping up the government in Pakistan, folks, is American money and American might. And we're barely propping that up, folks. I mean, you have a whole uprising. I mean, it's been going on right underneath our noses. The American boob tube media is just, giving you a little bits and pieces of this situation unraveling in Pakistan. But, folks, if this situation goes under, and if the Taliban, by some fashion, takes over Pakistan, I also have a feeling, and I've called this before, but I just wanted to reinforce this, that India is going to take it upon itself as part of preemptive action to go in and invade Pakistan for its own national security purposes. And, folks, that's just going to open up a can of worms that I don't think that the United States can grab a hold of. I mean, it's opening a genie in a bottle that we're never going to be able to put back. And there's going to be a lot of bloodshed. And this is why I'm saying, folks, I wouldn't be surprised, and I've said it all year, I would not be surprised to see World War III by the end of this year, or at least at the beginning of next year. And, you know, Pakistan going under is just, it's just crucial for that proposition of World War III happening. If Pakistan goes under, folks, we're in some serious trouble. We're in some serious damn trouble. And the reason I say that is because, folks, we've been propping up Pakistan thus far. And the individual Pakistani is basically, taking this Islamic fascist, or I shouldn't say fascism, but this Islamic theology-based fervor. They're taking it and just getting drunk off of it. They're getting punch drunk off of it. And they're being influenced by the Taliban to try to create some sort of unrest within the state of Pakistan. And you see, folks, this is what's unfortunate, is that the Pakistan are winning at two fronts, in my opinion. And they're winning because they are fanatics when it comes to religion. And if you fight anybody based on religion, folks, it's a pretty hard enemy to defeat, especially those that are basing their war tactics and their war strategies based on secularist doctrine. And that's what America is doing at this present time. We are, abiding by a secularist doctrine that doesn't coincide with what these individuals out in this region are fighting for. They are fighting for some sort of religious fanaticism that has taken foot because the idea of modernization didn't take forth in this region. Modernization is not it is literally like, well, at least in Afghanistan, it's literally like the 14th century. I mean, it is just a complete dirt hole, an ant pile. I mean, I think an ant pile has a better organization than Afghanistan. And then you've got Pakistan, which the people in general have been kept out of the loop, and they've been, fed with whatever the hell they eat, beans or, gruel or whatever the hell that's keeping them alive. And the government has used all the resources in Pakistan to develop these nuclear weapons that the United States is trying to protect at this current time. I mean, when you attempt to try to have the ambition to create a nuclear weapon, especially if you're a country, it costs a lot of money. It costs a lot of money to spend for a nuclear weapon. So as a result, the propped up government in Pakistan is not looked very favorably upon by the Pakistani people. And that's why the Taliban, who are looked upon as victorious Islamic saints in the eyes of these Pakistanis, they are entertaining the idea, all right? They are entertaining the option of overthrowing their existing bureaucratic system of government in exchange for this Talibani system. And, folks, one thing that Barack Obama said that I disagree with is that he tried to distinguish the true groups between Taliban and Al-Qaeda. And in not so many words, and I am paraphrasing President Obama, he's basically de-emphasizing the military emphasis on the Taliban. At least that's what he said several weeks ago, or a week ago, excuse me. And they want the military emphasis to go on Al-Qaeda. But what's unfortunate, folks, is that, we started something with the Taliban. They basically hid in the damn mountains. They wandered about the region of Waziristan, which is the region between Afghanistan and Pakistan. They recruited new peasants. They recruited new people. They recruited new suicide bombers. They're even recruiting 15-year-old kids, for heaven's sake. It's just a disgusting situation, and I don't think that there's going to be a mission accomplished in this war. If we had dedicated our resources to the Iraqi situation, we could have forced this Iraqi parliament to pay us back, just like the English paid us back after World War II, just like everybody who's paid us back when we assist them in any type of military theater. And, folks, we have wasted over $1 trillion on this Iraqi military theater, and we haven't seen one dime come back to us, folks. And you've got Barack Obama and his stance that, well, you know what we're going to do? We're just going to cut and run. We're going to leave. See ya. Bye. Don't worry about the trillion and all the lives that we spent liberating this country. Just bye. Don't worry about it. Oh, that's right. You can go ahead and take the profits from all the oil fields that are in your country, sell it on the world market, and give yourself a surplus. Don't worry about it. On the American dime. It's America. Absolutely not, folks, and this is why I continue to bring up this subject matter of Iraq, because, folks, we need to get paid back for that liberation, all right? All right, we overthrew a dictator, all right, and what we need is this propped-up government, this bureaucratic system to pay us back for all the blood and treasure that we spilt there. And on top of which, folks, what we should have done in Afghanistan is, to be honest with you, I think we should have never gone into Afghanistan, to be completely honest with you. All right? I'm serious. We should have never been in there. Just look at the infrastructure of the natural resources in Afghanistan. It's a pissing ground. All right? It's a pissing ground, for heaven's sake. It's an antpile. It's a disgusting disgrace. All right. What we should have done is use black operations to assassinate the key leaders of the Al Qaeda. The individuals that are responsible for organizing these terroristic attempts against our homeland and our interests. Take these people out with assassination. And screw the bureaucratic nonsense. Just wipe them out. Take a drone and just knock them the hell out. If you start doing that, maybe they'll start, thinking twice before bombing anything anymore, and maybe they'll go on the debating table, all right? You look at Muammar Gaddafi, Muammar Gaddafi, all right? This idiot thought he was big crap. He thought his schlong head was bigger than John Holmes' sausage, all right? And he went out here saying, yeah, I bombed that stupid plane, I bombed this, and he talked like he was just the mastermind of all masterminds. And then the United States, in an attempt to assassinate him, killed his daughter. And once we killed that stupid bastard's daughter, what happened? Oh, I don't want any more trouble, and he relinquished his idea of going after weapons of mass destruction, and that's all there was to it. Do you understand? I mean, you know, I don't understand why we didn't do this in Afghanistan, why we just didn't take out the leaders of Al-Qaeda, and if necessary, take out the leaders of the Taliban, and let the people themselves fight it out. Let all the damn warlords and the tribes and the Northern Alliance and all these morons fight amongst themselves who's going to be the leader of that pissing ground. We dedicated so much American taxpayer money, American lives. I just couldn't even tell you how much garbage we've spent. I mean, we spent about $500 million on this ridiculous election, all right? This damn election that the United Nations has now nullified because it's supposed to be nefarious activity. It's supposed to be fraudulent votes and a whole bunch of garbage. We spent $500 million putting on that crap. And you know what we're going to have to do? We're going to have to spend another $500 million putting on a revote because of all the fraud that has been conducted in this Afghanistan election. And do you understand, folks, all right? Don't you understand that American citizens, American soldiers, men and women of uniform, are dying? And the reason they're dying is because we said that what mission accomplished was going to be when Afghanistan had a democracy, a legitimate democracy where the people chose their leaders. All right? Now we've conducted that in Afghanistan, and it's a damn fraud! We spent hundreds of millions of dollars on this Afghan election, and it's a damn fraud! Now, what I don't understand is, folks, is that this nullifies the whole objective of the military theater. It nullifies it because it basically throws fuel to the Islamic fire that democracy is nothing more than imperialism. Yeah, that's right, it's nothing more than imperialism. And that's why they recruit these goddamn suicide bombers, you piece of crap! Don't you understand that? It doesn't take a freaking brain scientist to realize this crap! Now we look like a bunch of morons. We look like the damn Russians in the early 80s out here. And I bet you those damn Russians, those cockeyed, vodka-drinking bastards are like, yes, comrade, look at the American people. Eh? Look at the American people. I drink my vodka, and I look at Americans die. Eh? They die like Mother Russia. They die like Mother Russia. Shut your stupid Moscow-loving hole! Folks, these are serious issues that we need to discuss, and that's why I continue to conduct these damn broadcasts. That's why I hope that you spread the word about the True Conservative radio program, because I'm giving you the realism here. All right? I'm not sugarcoating it like a damn boob tube. All right? I mean, that's the beautiful part about the Internet, folks. You can listen or you cannot listen. It's not like the boob tube. You flip the channel and you pick the best of the damn worst. That's why I'm saying, folks, we need to start paying a little bit more attention about what's happening in this region, Afghanistan and Pakistan. All right, I mean, you're having suicide bombings every single damn day in Pakistan. As a matter of fact, you had the Pakistani army attempting to insurrect the regions that supposedly have Taliban strongholds. And it's been some, unreal fighting, some unreal military exchanges out there. And I strongly advise you to keep up to date with that, folks. Because if this suppression doesn't work, folks, Pakistan is going down. And if Pakistan goes down, India's going to go into the mix. If India goes into the mix, it's going to be a whole damn jihad for the whole damn Muslim community worldwide, and we're going to have World War III, and it's going to be disgusting, it's going to be sick, and it's going to be for no freaking reason. I mean, the reason I say it's going to be for no freaking reason is because, I mean, whatever happened to rational thought out here? Did we forget about this? Did we ever forget about rational freaking thought, for heaven's sake? I guess we just forgot about it, right? I guess rational thought has just gone completely out the window. It makes me disgustingly ill, folks. I mean, I just don't even know what to tell you. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and segue to something on a lighter note, okay, before I get into this Iranian situation. And I want to talk about this stupid, ridiculous media spectacle called Balloon Boy. That's right, I'm talking about this ridiculous spectacle of some maniac father and a maniac mother that decided to, stage this event claiming that, they made some sort of a helium-based flying saucer for their own amusement, and their kid accidentally went up in it, and they let it off, and he was floating around like a jag-off in the air. And they had every damn news outlet, every damn mainstream media news outlet focusing in on this ridiculous flying saucer that was made by this moron. And lo and behold, that's why I didn't say anything before. I was going to say something, but I just wanted it to unravel so that I can say it without any kind of libel suit. It was a fraud. It was an absolute fraud, and it's come out that the damn father of this, alleged balloon boy is a freak show. I mean, he's just a dumb freak show. He's tried to be an actor. I mean, there's been headshots that have come out from this freak show. Allegedly, there's some domestic violence reports or some kind of garbage that's happened within their home. I mean, it just reinforces what I've always been talking about the American social atmosphere. This is what parentism is. I mean, and what's unfortunate is that the reason they found out it was a fraud is because during a Larry King interview with the whole family, the stupid kid was like, I was in my attic because I was doing it for a show. I was doing it for a show. I mean, that goes to show you how bad parents they are, all right? They're such bad parents that they couldn't get their half-tarded kid to even say a lie correctly. That's how imbecilic these parents are, all right? That's how imbecilic these parents are. And it reinforces the fact that parents nowadays don't give a crap about their children, and they'll sell their children out. They'll exploit their children for the sake of putting themselves in the spotlight, giving themselves more money, giving themselves entitlements, the whole 9 yards. And the reason I bring up the stupid balloon boy crap is because, folks, are you surprised that these morons, all right, started talking and saying, oh, you know what, I got an idea. We're going to become reality show stars. I'm going to make this spaceship, this helium-based spaceship, and I'm going to pretend that I threw my kid in there and it was just floating around uncontrollable, and I'm going to call the cops, and I'm going to have all the media outlets looking for a damn flying saucer. I mean, give me a break. Give me a break. And for Balloon Boy's parents, I hope you get prosecuted, for heaven's sake. I hope you go to jail for the maximum amount of time. I think the maximum amount of time they're looking at is 5 years in prison. I hope you get it. I hope you get, sent to prison. I hope you get your children taken away from you. And while you're in prison, I hope you think about all the ridiculous nonsense that you have done for the sake of being a reality star. Aww. Stupid Balloon Boy. Anyway, folks, I'm going to go ahead and move on because I had to lighten up a little bit. I was getting a little hyped up about the Pakistan-Afghanistan situation. I want to go ahead and talk about Iran. And, folks, I've been following this Iranian situation for a long period of time. As a matter of fact, once again, I actually have listeners who attempt to correspond with me, and I actually have a variety of different listeners who attempt to correspond with me, and some of them are actually from Iran themselves, all right? I mean, I have actual Iranian true conservative radio listeners And I've been corresponding with a lot of these guys, for since the presidential election of Ahmadinejad, the re-election of Ahmadinejad. Lo and behold, what's happening in Afghanistan is something that I called a long time ago. And individuals, and I don't really appreciate the individuals on the right, and I'm talking about the Republican Party, trying to be chicken war hawks, ready to go ahead and throw more troops into a third theater of combat, and that's going in and invading Iran because of, nuclear weapons or some crap. I mean, the same reason why we went into Iraq. I mean, what I've suggested the whole time, folks, is that the Islamic Revolution and this propped-up secularist government that's supposed to have a president, which the president, folks, really doesn't make one bit of difference. He doesn't have any kind of say-so whatsoever. He's just a prop for the Ayatollahs so that they can kind of sell the masses of Iran that they're living in some sort of a free government based on Islamic rule. All right, some kind of Islamocracy, if you will. But what's unfortunate is that secularism, or that taste of secularism, has unraveled a certain sediment within Iran. And that sediment is the option of choosing their leaders legitimately, not based upon some Islamic dictatorship or Islamic revolution dictatorship or whatever they want to call themselves as. All right? And I just, and what I'm just saying is that the Iranians at this point in time are witnessing the powder keg that has been there for a long period of time, and we've been discussing it here on the True Conservative Radio program, this powder keg of revolution. Now, folks, I have actually corresponded with individuals that are participating in the resistance out here in Iran, and first and foremost, I don't affiliate with the individuals who partook in that suicide bomb in Iran. As a matter of fact, I believe it's some Sunni faction, some Islamic garbage, once again, that's taking credit for the suicide bombing within Iranian borders, which is unfortunately diminishing the substance around the true Iranian secular resistance. Now, what does the Iranian resistance really want? Well, and what are they comprised of? Well, the Iranian resistance are comprised of young people because, folks, there are like 4 to 5 people under the age of 25 than there are over the age of 25. So that just goes to show you how young the demographic is in the Iranian region. And yet they're still being ruled by the old guard, the old ways, the old Islamic revolution, the old Ayatollahs, and this sort of thing. So these young people really, they don't want to have anything to do with this crap anymore. I mean, I'm talking to the resistance, and what they want is secularism. They want to have what the United States has. I don't know if you've watched any kind of documentaries on Iran. I'm sure if you do a Google video search, you'll find a few of them. But a lot of these documentaries highlight the fact that the young people in Iran actually want to be Americanized. They want to look like Americans. They're trying to dress like Americans. They're even utilizing their funds that they get through, working or whatever they do in Iran to cosmetically change their facial features into more Americanized facial features. I mean, what the point is here, folks, is that these people want freedom. They want what we have, what we're pissing away, all right? What the American people are pissing away, the Iranian people want, and they want it now. They want it now, for heaven's sake. But what's unfortunate is that we're giving credence to the Islamic rule and the damn vanguard and the damn clerics and all these individuals that are actually in power. We're giving substance to the fact that we're foreign invaders, that we're going to go in and invade the country, and it's going to give fervor to the hardliners out there to fight to the death. And, it's just going to be an unfortunate situation, which I think what we should do, and when I think that the CIA ops that are out here getting paid, being spooks, spying on people, why don't you go out, and why don't you somehow clandestinely help the revolutions and the resistance within Iran? I'm telling you, folks, I'm talking to these people in correspondence emails. They're telling me they don't want to have nothing to do with this Islamic crap. It's stupid. It's garbage. They don't believe in it, folks. And the only thing keeping it around is the idea that America is the great Satan, and they're going to come in and they're going to imperialize the whole damn place, and they're going to enslave the Iranian people. You know, I've actually corresponded with some of these people within the Iranian resistance, and they've told me that that the Iranian public school system, or I don't know if it's a public school system, but the school system actually teaches its children to start the day with death to America and death to Israel. All right? Death to America, death to Israel. And you see, folks, this is why the American people are so despised. And to be honest with you, they're not even that despised within Iran any longer. But they're going to continue to be despised, and they're willing to fight for their own autonomy if we decide to listen to these chicken hawk ass clown Republican bastards and decide to just go in and invade the country for God knows why. You know? I mean, just invade the country for who the hell knows why. And we can't allow this to happen, folks. I mean, this is why it takes you as the American people to participate in this government, to go out there and actually be something within this political system. Otherwise, we're doomed, folks. We're doomed. I mean, if we allow this government to send us out to more and more wars, you know, that's enough. I mean, you know, we don't want to have anything to do with it anymore. I mean, I think we need to emphasize our resources and our energy on maintaining America at this point, because America is diminishing. And what I mean by America diminishing, we're fighting all the wars, we're being the police of the world, we're propping up all kinds of governments in an attempt to facilitate democracy and all this other nonsense, and yet we are losing our own system right from under us. You know, we're bowing down to a more quasi-socialist communist system. And that's not something that I'm okay with. I mean, I'm a conservative, damn it. I believe in freedom and liberty. I believe in this constitutional republic. This Constitution is one of the greatest documents ever written in political philosophy, because it is a social contract between the state and its people. And it accords every man unalienable rights. All right? Unalienable rights. But, folks, we've turned into something really ridiculous. I mean, the American government, the American people, and I don't know if it's too late, you know? I mean, luckily you have young patriots that are out here trying to take a stand, like Hannah Giles, James O'Keefe, these individuals who are going out and trying to expose this infestation of liberalism who's trying to destroy the American system from within. I mean, luckily we've got individuals like that, and hopefully we have more individuals who come forth in an attempt to facilitate a good society like we used to be, one that was fair and square, one that was open to talent. And what I mean by open to talent is the whole concept of being hired based on your ability to do a job. All right? I mean, if you look at most jobs nowadays, folks, most jobs are now they're being given out based on need, not based on talent. Yeah, I mean, I hear this from potential employers all the time. I mean, I am a business owner, folks, and they tell me all the time that because they don't have any children, you know, because you know, they don't look like a certain demographic, they don't look like they're having a bad time. All right? I mean, you know, they're sitting here giving jobs, giving American opportunity, giving the idea of making a living. They're giving this based on need, folks. And you know what's even more sad? Is that a lot of these individuals that are taking the remainder jobs that are available for those that are getting laid off, for those individuals that are finding themselves in precarious positions, most of these jobs are either being taken away by illegal immigrants who can basically work below minimum wage because they're not documented anyway, so that lowers the standard of every industry. And another people that are taking away the jobs from the average American people are the assholes collecting entitlements. All right? Now, the reason I say that, folks, is because individuals who are making entitlements can actually continue to work, and they can make up to $45,000 a year and continue to collect entitlements as long as they fulfill the paperwork and all the bureaucratic obligations that entails those entitlements. So this is what you're messing with. If you're a true bourgeoisie, middle class, upper middle class person who hasn't taken an entitlement in their life, who pays their taxes, who's a law-abiding citizen, who wants opportunity instead of handouts, if you happen to be laid off because of the downsizing and the economic contraction, you actually have to go out into the employment sector and compete with illegal immigrants that are out here basically outbidding you by going below minimum wage, and then you got to compete with dirty dish rag whore mothers and other losers that have been able to qualify for government entitlements on your tax-paying dime. And they're going out and getting jobs on top of this crap. It's ridiculous. It's sick. And it makes me want to puke, for heaven's sake. I mean, is anybody else disgusted? I mean, is anybody else sick? I mean, is this giving anybody else a goddamn ulcer? I mean, these goddamn entitlement people. That's enough. That's enough. That's it. That's enough, damn it. We are not your slaves, you stupid morons! This is not a country of communism. This is not a country of socialism. This is a country of capitalism. It's a country of opportunity. It's a country of careers open to talent. This was built on capitalism. Don't you understand that, you idiots? And we've got the majority of the American people on their knees, begging for their own serfdom, begging for their own peasantry, for heaven's sake. They've got their handouts waiting for Big Brother governors to give them everything, for heaven's sake. I mean, are you going to sit there and just take it, for heaven's sake? Are you going to sit there and just take it? I mean, what the hell are you going to do about it, for heaven's sake? Are you just going to sit on your fat ass on the damn couch and watch the damn TV? I mean, what are you going to do? What the hell are you going to do? Are you just going to sit there, for heaven's sake? I mean, it's what I keep saying over and over and over and over. Is this what you're going to continue to palate? Because I sure as hell ain't. I refuse to go quietly in that good night, folks. I'm not going to sit here and bow down to some quasi-communist crap, all right? I'm not going to allow these damn power-hungry autocrats to send us any more damn wars out here based on some ridiculous hyper-sensationalism or to pay back somebody in the military-industrial complex, folks. We're not going to do this any longer. I think the American bourgeoisie needs to rise up and realize that they need to take their places as individuals who need to participate in this government so that it can facilitate itself properly, so that it can so you can understand that the only way that this government is going to continue to facilitate itself and work itself out is if the American people are well informed and that are out there trying to make a better place for all of us while still maintaining the emphasis of the individual, because we are not a collective society, folks. We never have been and never will be. And I'm calling on all the working people, all the working individuals who have never collected an entitlement, all the working individuals who want an opportunity and who bust their ass to get what they want and get what they deserve. I'm talking to you people. I'm talking to the middle class. I'm talking to the upper middle class. Are you going to continue to be slaves to these damn welfare cheats and these despicable, disgusting single whore mothers and these drug addicts and all these idiots collecting entitlements and all this other nonsense? Are you going to be a slave to the damn Wall Street executives and the bankers that have collected billions upon billions of bonus dollars on your tax-paying dime? There is no difference, folks. Both of these individuals are the same kind, and anyone who accepts a government entitlement should be shunned upon. Anyone who collects a government entitlement should be spat upon. I mean, we should not accept this any longer as any kind of legitimate activity, and it should be within the frame of mind of everyone to understand that what is transpiring here in America, this open raid on the American tax-paying system, cannot be palliated any longer. And this is why I continue to do these broadcasts, and I hope that you as an individual can spread the word, all right? Spread the word about the True Conservative radio program. Spread the word about the blog at ghostpolitics.blogspot.com, and make sure to let people understand your political philosophy. All right? Use this time, and I'm going to continue to remind you of this until the holidays. Use this time when you get together with your family this holiday season to open the avenue of political debate. Now, let's not go to blows. Don't start swinging at people and acting like Billy Badass out here. But just hear and observe how people think, how they acquire their knowledge, how they acquire their ideas, and you'll be surprised of the lack of rational thinking that is within the American psyche and the lack of critical thought that is within the American conscience. And, folks, this is why we're in the precarious situation we're in. So utilize this time during the holidays to facilitate debate. And those that are the most vocal are going to be the most obstinate. So you're not trying to convince the most obstinate. You're trying to convince those that are looking at this debate and realizing that, hey, this person has more substance than this person. And once you pay it forward and help facilitate more of those ideas to other individuals, you are doing your part. And when you go out there and unelect these power-hungry autocrats that have sold us out, that have completely sold us out by sending the means of production outside the United States into China, South America, Taiwan, and all these other countries, you need to unelect these pieces of crap, all right? You need to unelect these pieces of crap, and you need to send them on their way. And with all due respect, I think that, their campaign funds, because you know what, folks, they can raise $100 million, and they can keep the remainder once they're out of office, folks. That's right. All they got to do is spend a little bit on their campaigns, enough to get elected, and once they're no longer in office, well, that big campaign fund goes right into the pocket, tax-free, into the scumbag politician that sucked on the Peter Popper of everybody to get it. That's what I'm saying. Just give it back to the people, because it's the people's money, damn it, and it's your money. And if you're working your ass off, all right, if you're working your ass off and every Friday or whenever you get your check, you look on that check and you look at all those despicable taxes that are taken out of your check, I want you to think about the True Conservative radio program. I want you to think about all the moochers that are mooching off that goddamn tax money. I want you to think about all those Wall Street bankers that are out there going to have a great Christmas buying flying cars and RVs that float on water on your tax-paying dime, because you failed to do anything about it. You failed to go out and let these people know that, oh, well, I'm going to continue to, I want the American way of life to continue. I want the bourgeoisie to prosper. I want a middle class. I want an upper middle class. You failed to do that. You took your eye off the ball, and now it's time for us to rise up and understand that we can never do that again. Anyway, folks, for the live audience, you got 2 minutes left before we go off the air. I'm going to be on the air for another 30 minutes to an hour giving my thoughts on some other things, and it's not going to be on the live broadcast. So for all you listening in, if you want to continue to listen into the broadcast, by all means, give me a call, 646-652-4869. I'm not going to take any callers. This is just purely to listen into the True Conservative radio program. This is strictly for the archive listeners, folks, because let me tell you, hundreds of thousands of people download the True Conservative radio program into their iPods and listen to me when they're at work, listen to me while they're watching the kids, listen to me when they're just doing all kinds of activities, and I want to thank those individuals for keeping the True Conservative radio program alive. Without the archive listeners, the True Conservative radio program would not be. So I want to thank them, and I'm going to reward them with some exclusive content. So please, folks, if you want to hear it, give me a call, 646-652-4869. I'm not going to take any calls. This is purely just to listen into the True Conservative radio extended commentary. And before we get off on the live program, folks, I want you to please bookmark the blog at ghostpolitics.blogspot.com. And also, folks, follow me on Twitter. Follow me on Twitter. It's the easiest way to figure out when I'm going to conduct a live broadcast. So if you want to sit here and chat with me in the chat room, and the Twitter account is Ghost Politics. All right, all one word, no underscores. Anyway, folks, for all the individuals listening to me to the live broadcast, thank you very much for tuning in with me. Please spread the word about the True Conservative Radio Show to everyone you know. Email the programs, do whatever it is that you have to do, and spread the word about the True Conservative Radio program. blogtalkradio.com/ghost. And by the way, folks, support the True Conservative Radio program by visiting the sponsors on the blog site, ghostpolitics.blogspot.com. By visiting those sponsors, you'll be helping out this show a lot, I guarantee it. Anyway, thank you very much for tuning in with me, those in the live audience. Long live the True Conservative movement, and, of course, death to feminism. All right, folks, we are now officially off the air. We're no longer streaming. This particular commentary is specifically for the the individuals that are listening in to the archive segments of this show, or if you happen to be calling in live. I see a lot of people calling in live. Unfortunately, I want to thank you for having to put a phone to your ear and having to listen to me. Now, what I wanted to talk about, folks, is something that is near and dear to my heart, and the thing about it is no one seems to listen and no one seems to care, and I seem to get my biggest heartfelt responses from those that actually listen to the program here on the archive. And, I wanted to speak to you folks specifically because for those of you on the archive, I wanted to extend my sincerest hand in hopes of getting you to go out there and be really political. And what do I mean by that? I'm talking about organizing as much as you can. Going to Google.com and utilizing all the methods of communication on there, all the website, free web spaces, the blogs, and legitimately laying out your thoughts, your ideas, individuals who you look up to for political philosophy, and going out there and spreading the word about this true conservative idealism. Start spreading the word about the constitutional republic and how the middle class and the upper middle class, we don't want to have anything to do with these damn losers of society. All right? We are an upper middle and a middle class society that realizes that we're being mooched from both sides, the damn poor in America and the filthy rich bastards in America. And we don't want to be mooched by you bastards any longer. Do you understand? We're breaking our backs. We're busting our humps. We got blood, sweat, and tears into everything that we do because we don't want a damn entitlement. We don't want a damn entitlement, damn it. We want opportunities. And folks, 2010 is coming around the corner. And it is your opportunity and is your duty as an American citizen to participate in this political process. The first thing you need to do, folks, is don't be afraid, don't be scared, get organized. Get organized, go door to door, even if you get doors slammed in your face, even if you get people cussing you out, just leave their property and go to the next person, folks, because we need you to organize people. And organize them behind a cause of some sort. It can be any kind of cause. One of the issues that are near and dear to your heart, all right? And go around every neighborhood you can and try to collect as much information as you can. And the only information that you should get from folks is their name, their telephone numbers, and their email addresses. All right? And once you have that information, folks, that's when you can keep people up to date about what is actually going on within the group that you're organizing. This is what you call a community organizer, like Obama touted himself throughout the presidential elections. All right? You're organizing the community, and what you're organizing the community to do is unelect these damn power-hungry autocrats that are screwing us up in Washington today. These power-hungry bureaucrats, they don't care about you. They don't care about me. They just care about their campaign contributions. They just care about whoever donates to those campaign contributions. That's who they care about, folks. They are not loyal to the true American citizen, the true American people, the middle class and the upper middle class. And, folks, it's time for us to get busy. It's time for us to get political because we want our freedom, we want our liberty, and we don't want to be slaves to these damn Wall Street bankers and these damn poor idiots in America. I don't want anything to do with it, damn it. What about you, huh? You want to be a liberal about it? You want to go out and be We Are the World and have soup kitchens on every corner so every derelict that wants to do nothing more than get drunk and go out and have a bowl of soup on your tax-paying dime? Absolutely not, folks. Absolutely not. This has become a productiveless society, and what we need to inspire, what the individuals on the right of the political persuasion need to inspire is an idealism that takes pride in one's labor, takes pride in one's work, takes pride in one's country. This country is great, damn it. Don't you understand that? We are lucky. We were lucky to be born here. I mean, everybody out here lives like kings, and yet they want to, exchange that for living like peasants. It doesn't make any sense to me, folks. I don't know if it makes sense to you, but it doesn't make sense to me. And this is why I conduct these broadcasts. This is why I hope that I'm continued to be downloaded by hundreds of thousands of people, folks. And I want you to spread the word. I mean, I've got individuals who listen to the program worldwide. I already talked about the individuals from Iran. I want to hear from you all. And another thing, folks, recently I've had, a whole bunch of attention on the program because, of course, yours truly doesn't give two rats' asses about these New World Order neurotic mental cases that are out here claiming that, reptilian lizard men are taking over the world and all this crap. Well, I've been so critical about them that apparently a lot of people within the alternative media persuasion and a lot of independent radio hosts and other individuals have asked yours truly to conduct an interview with them. And you know what, folks? I'm refusing because, folks, I don't... I mean, why the hell should I be interviewed? Huh? I mean, what the hell's that going to prove? All I'm going to do is have, whatever idiot that I do an interview for, I'm going to have their bozo listeners calling me up, being critical of me, when they don't know a damn thing about me and my true conservative stances out here. So I know that I'm getting a lot of email from individuals who know about these solicitations for, being interviewed. At this current time, folks, I am not going to accept any interviews because I know for a fact that these idiots are going to do nothing more than backdoor me. They're going to do nothing more than attempt to make me look like some buffoonery because they don't agree with my political persuasion. All right? What I want, if I want some publicity, if I want some press, if I want some plug, I want you, folks, to go out there and help me. I want you to go out there and tell somebody about the True Conservative radio program. I want you to go out and tell somebody about these ideas that are being commentated on this program. I want you to do that. All right, folks? I mean, I'm serious. I'm dead serious. I'm serious as a heart attack about this crap. Because if we don't do anything about it, folks, we are going to end up like all these ridiculous countries that fell because their damn populations were uneducated pieces of garbage. And what's unfortunate is those that fell because their populations were uneducated, they were uneducated because there was no free system of public education. There was no emphasis on educating your child. There was no emphasis on that crap. And here in America, we have an overemphasis on that garbage. We got an overemphasis on it. Huh. Anyway, I wanted to thank everybody once again for tuning in with me here on the True Conservative radio program. Once again, folks, I extend my hand to you. Please, if you love this country, if you love this idea of government, of capitalism, of careers open to talent, if you like opportunity, and if you love this country and you love your damn children, you'll go out and you'll participate in this government in some fashion. instead of sitting on your fat ass and bombarding your damn gullet hole with fast food and, fried butter or whatever the hell you people eat out there. You need to get up off your fat asses and you need to take some risks out here. You need to have some civil disobedience. You need to confront these damn congressmen and these damn senators and tell them, what the hell are you doing, you ungrateful autocratic prick. I mean, that's what you need to do, but nobody's doing it. Nobody's doing it. Instead, people are protesting for ridiculous nonsense they don't even know anything about. Like health care, like we've discussed before. Both sides are arguing moot points because both sides want to make the insurance companies the overlord of the healthcare industry, when the health insurance industry shouldn't even be in the equation. It should be nullified. It should be ousted. It should be gotten rid of. Anyway, folks, this is why I'm telling you, I need your help. If you appreciate the True Conservative Radio program, if you appreciate the commentary and you believe in the type of America that I believe in and that I want again, and where we had some sort of not only economic integrity but moral integrity, where we actually emphasized family instead of going out and trying to keep up with the Joneses and become corporate damn moguls. I mean, family, something that was emphasized back in the day, and now, what is it? I mean, what's emphasized nowadays? Well, look at my car that's not even paid for. Look at my house that's not even paid for. Look at this that's not even paid for. And then when they really can't pay for it and they repossess it all, they kill themselves. And if they're not killing themselves and they're killing their families, they're out there with their hands out, and the government's giving them stimulus checks and unemployment checks and checks to help them out on their rent, and housing voucher programs and electrical assistance and free cell phones and free broadband and all this garbage that I've had to pay for all these years. I don't know about you working people, but I've had to pay for all that crap. And I put in a lot of money for that crap, and they're giving it to these losers for free. Because why? Because we're allowing it to happen, folks. We are allowing this to happen, and this is why that if you are not going to participate in this government, if you are not going to spread the word about these principles or the True Conservative Radio program or make any kind of minor contribution, then I don't want to hear you saying anything about this government. Anyway, thank you very much. Long live the True Conservative Radio program, and death to feminism.
Boar's Head is bringing a slice of Japan to the deli. Introducing Boar's Head Ichiban Teriyaki-style chicken. Tender, slow-roasted chicken breast, coated in our signature teriyaki glaze, where ginger, garlic, and a hint of brown sugar meet for a flavor that's both sweet and savory. New Boar's Head Ichiban Teriyaki-style chicken. The bold flavor of Japan. Now at the deli. Only from Boar's Head. Compromise elsewhere.